In today's world, it is clear how society has changed from the simpler times of the past to a more complicated present. Take food, for example. Food isn't what it used to be. Many nutritionists point out that food today is more toxic, leading to rampant obesity and out-of-control diabetes. Everywhere one goes, there is something unhealthy to encounter. Society consumes so much junk: pizza, Doritos, potato chips, hot dogs, fast food like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and Taco Bell. There are people who eat out all the time, never preparing meals at home. Walking through stores, it is common to see mothers filling their shopping carts with food that is out of control. It raises the question of how many of these mothers are actually paying attention to what they are feeding their children, or whether they are even researching the food they buy. If parents were to change their children's diets, they might observe different behavior, yet many do not take the time to make that effort. Parents often place their children in front of an iPad, labeling it as educational, but in many cases, it serves as a convenient way to occupy them. This reflects the sad state of society, where children are being poisoned both physically and mentally. One has to wonder, what happened to the basics in education? There was a time when schools taught government and economics classes, providing kids with practical knowledge such as how to change the oil in a car or how to craft items in shop classes. Girls were taught how to cook and sew, essential life skills that seem to have disappeared from modern curriculums. Today, many schools have removed these activities altogether. Even driver's training, which was once a standard part of school education, is no longer available. Teachers who used to work closely with children are now hesitant to express their opinions, fearing repercussions if they do not conform to the majority view. Education has shifted from being a place of learning to becoming a form of indoctrination, where students are controlled like little robots. This shift is stark when compared to countries like China and Japan, where children are taught practical skills from a young age and are some of the smartest in the world. In contrast, American children are more concerned with superficial activities like wearing paper hats with stars on them and sticking stickers on their faces, rather than focusing on meaningful education. In high schools, there is a growing emphasis on not hurting anyone's feelings, letting everyone win, and avoiding competition altogether. This kind of approach is detrimental as it deprives children of valuable life lessons in resilience and perseverance. As these children grow up, they become dependent, unable to hold jobs, manage money, or take care of themselves. If individuals from a century ago, or even just from a few generations back, were to see how children act today, they would likely be shocked. There is a significant lack of discipline, responsibility, and accountability in the youth of today. Discipline, which once started at home, has dramatically weakened. The method of counting to 3 as a form of discipline is a prime example of how ineffective parenting strategies have become. Strong discipline, which was once common, has been replaced by permissiveness, leaving children without clear boundaries. Parents must return to the days of setting firm rules and expectations. It is essential to change not only the food children consume but also to monitor their social circles. Limiting who children spend time with can have a significant influence on how they turn out. It is crucial for parents to be involved in their children's lives, ensuring that they are not left to be raised by others or by screens. This decline in effective parenting has led to children becoming increasingly out of control, and the blame lies squarely on the shoulders of parents. To address this issue, a comprehensive approach is needed. Discipline needs to be reintroduced in a way that teaches children respect, responsibility, and self-control. Schools should not be the primary institutions raising children; that responsibility belongs to the parents. Parents must be actively involved in their children's daily lives, not just passively observing from the sidelines. There is a pressing need to teach children how to work, manage money, and handle the responsibilities of life. Schools may no longer be teaching these vital skills, so the onus is on parents to fill this gap. Teaching children how to balance a checkbook, save money, and pay bills are fundamental lessons that will serve them throughout their lives. These lessons should not be seen as optional but as necessary components of a well-rounded upbringing. Furthermore, society as a whole must reconsider what is valued in education and child rearing. It is not enough to merely go through the motions of education, the content and quality of what is taught must be critically assessed. There must be a shift back to teaching practical life skills and fostering independent thinking. The goal should be to prepare children for the real world, not to shield them from it. The focus on protecting feelings and avoiding competition may seem compassionate, but it ultimately leaves children unprepared for the challenges they will inevitably face. Looking at the broader picture, this issue is not just about individual families, it is about the future of society. If current trends continue, there will be a generation of adults who are ill-equipped to handle the responsibilities of adulthood. They will struggle with basic life skills, lack resilience, and be overly dependent on others. This is a troubling prospect for the future, as it suggests a society that is increasingly fragile and less capable of sustaining itself. The solution lies in a return to the values and practices that once guided child-rearing and education. By re-emphasizing discipline, practical education, and parental involvement, there is hope for reversing these troubling trends. It requires a collective effort from parents, educators, and the community at large to ensure that children are raised to be capable, responsible, and independent adults. This is not just about preserving the past, it is about securing the future. The way children are raised today will determine the kind of society that exists tomorrow. It is imperative that society wakes up to the realities of the current situation and takes meaningful action to change course. Only by returning to the principles that once guided society can there be hope for a better future for the coming generations.